Oh yeah, who was it we need to find here, by the way? Ted Sprayer.
Everything looks open. Okay, here. Any trouble in this area?
Is there a problem?
I heard you're on some sort of city council.
Bannon and Dr. Lee and I all meet on Monday mornings to talk about citywide issues. It's pretty informal. The council doesn't have much real power.
Can you tell me about Dr. Lee?
She's one of the members of the council. Runs the science lab here. Don't bother her unless it's important. Her lab is in the stern end of the ship.
Did you know that Paulie Cantelli is an addict?
He's totally strung out. It's gonna kill him one of these days.
Yep.
Carry on.
Welcome. This here is Flack and Shrapnel's gun shop. Pretty catchy, huh? Take a look around. If you see anything you like, I'll be right over here.
And see what kinds of guns you have for sale?
Need to do some killing, eh?
Maybe. We have 308.
Thanks. No problem at all.
Know anything about the history of Rivet City?
Fred, I can't help you, pal. Been here for years, but all I know about the history is that it's a safe place to settle down. Maybe Bannon can help you out. He sure acts like he knows it all.
Yep.
If you need...
Hello, Gloria. How's it going?
Welcome to Rivet City Supply. Howdy, I'm Seagrave. Seagrave Holmes. I have a little of just about everything here.
What have we got to sell?
I've got a little bit of everything. Give me a
I'm
shout
also
if
a
you need
little
anything
bit
else.
sleepy. What do you know about Rivet City's history?
Oh, I really wouldn't know. I mean, long as I can remember, she's just been here, soaking up all the repairs and attention we can give her. I grabbed a wrench and joined in the reconstruction pretty much first thing out of the womb, but I never really cared about the politics.
Well, what can you tell me about the reconstruction?
Oh, well, the old girl had seen a lot of damage, especially where the Mirelurks used to nest, and where the super mutants kept trying to get in. I guess the mutants and the Myers got so busy fighting each other, it gave us the time we needed to make this place shipshape. Does that tell you what you need to know? Anyway, we're here in Rivet City, and she's in good hands now.
Do, 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 do.
Let me or a security officer know if you see anything out of the ordinary.
I heard that the city council was
Gary's
putting
Galley.
aliens on the flight deck.
Let me introduce myself. I am Gary Staley, gourmet chef and gourmand. I'll be preparing your meal. My specialty is Mirelurk cakes, although the iguana is very popular too.
I'm purchasing some Mirelurk cakes myself.
Then you are in for a treat.
You know that Paulie Cantelli is an addict?
Yeah, he comes by every night around closing time and tries to get Cindy to let him close up. Thank God she's smarter than that.
I'm thinking about the Rivet City's
I
history.
know a lot of places opened up when they got the hydroponics bay working, but that's hardly the start of it all, is it? Actually, Vera Weatherly might know more. She's always here and talking with folks, so if anyone's picked up a story or two, it'd be her.
I'm hungry.
Here is our menu, ma'am.
What you got? Okay. Thing I want. Yep.
Thank you for coming to Gary's Galley.
Well, I hope they do something.
Do, 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 do.
Yeah, that was bad. I'm sure they'll do something about it.
Any trouble in this area?
If you want a gun, you've come to the right place.
Hi, I'm Angela. My dad runs Gary's Galley. If you want anything to eat, talk to him.
Why is this place called Gary's Galley?
It's named after my dad. He's a great cook.
Why is James Hargrave such a brat?
James's mom, Tammy, is a real bitch. She treats him like crap. I think it's because she drinks too much.
What's the story with Dr. Lee?
She's not very social. Stays in her lab in the stern. She's smart, though. Real smart.
Do the men on the ship give you much trouble?
You mean like hitting on me? No. Most of them are polite. Even the ones like Diego that I'd want to flirt with seem to ignore me.
So you and Diego are in love?
Well, one of us is. Sometimes it seems like he doesn't even know I'm there.
You're a woman. You seduce him.
Yeah, right. I don't think I could get him drunk enough to do that. I wish I had some ant pheromones. Trini says they would make any man lose control.
Okay. Let's see about Rivet City's history. Oh, she won't know anything.
I heard the place was settled by mercenaries who used to scavenge DC, but I don't really know.
Okay. Gotta get going.
Thank you for coming to Gary's Galley.
If you want any of this shit, just say so. Otherwise, keep your fingers the hell away from the triggers. I don't want no accidents.
Need to repair my stuff. You gonna buy me some ordnance?
What you looking for?
I'm looking for troublemakers. Have you seen any?
Nothing like contact security.
Quick fix, huh?
Welcome to a quick fix.
There was some sort of...
Nice to see you again. Are you looking for a quick fix?
I heard anyone say that has a crush on Diego.
The poor dear. I wish there was something I could do to help her. That boy ought to just give her a tumble. It would be good for both of them.
You have a sale.
We've got all kinds.
Let's buy that for her. Get rid of them. Don't need missiles. Machine from like plasma rifle. Yeah.
Another satisfied customer.
battle in the city yesterday.
The gate guard said the gunfire went on for over an hour. Welcome to Gary's Galley. Well,
Have some man queen pheromones that might do the trick.
really? Oh, thank you. I just know I can seduce Diego with this. Then he'll have to marry me. We'll be so happy.
We are evil, don't we?
Thank
Any trouble in this
That's
area?
why I'm glad I'm in here. Good old Rivet City.
Me too. Nothing is getting...
Welcome to Potomac Attire. Welcome to Potomac Attire. I am Bannon, proprietor and city council member. I carry discriminating attire for discriminating customers.
Is he also a person of refinement?
Between you and me, keeping out the riffraff is good for business.
So you're on the city council?
Dr. Lee, Chief Harkness, and I are all on the council. We meet every Monday morning. I can be very influential, if you know what I mean. Far more than Seagrave Holmes.
Hello, Alex. How you doing? Tigre? Oh yeah, he's clueless.
So you've met him, eh? Well, he wants to replace me on the council. Now, I can't have that. No siree. He's a shady character. I just
A
can't
little bit
prove
tired,
it.
but otherwise
If someone
good.
were to find
Are you,
something
Alex?
incriminating in his room, well, let's just say I would be very appreciative.
I didn't know State has a crush on Diego.
Disgusting, isn't it? Someone should talk to that boy. He has no business hanging around that tramp if he's going to be a priest.
Anyone on the ship named Pinkerton?
Now, there's a name I haven't heard in a while. Never met the man myself, but rumor has it he helped found Rivet City. Some rumors say he died trying to loot the broken bow of the ship. Others say he joined up with the Enclave. Straight to the point. I like that.
Yes. Sexy sleepwear, huh? Let's see if he knows anything about Rivet City's history. Then.
Why, I practically set this whole place up. When I got here 12 years ago, it was just a handful of dead-enders squatting in a rusted-out rowboat. Now I'm on the council, and with my leadership, we're the strongest settlement in the wastes. Of course, a few of those dead-enders still stick around, but who'd want to leave?
Peach, hasn't Rivet City been around for longer than 12 years?
Well, yes, but it was hardly any place of importance until I arrived on the scene. That's all ancient history now. No one would ever care about it. If you insist on wasting your time on that, you could try that bartending old crone down below, Belle Bonnie.
Been a pleasure, Mr. Bennett.
Come back soon.
Nothing I contact security for.
What are you looking at?
Never mind.
I'll be right with you. Nice to see you.
I'm looking for troublemakers. Have you seen any?
Charmed to meet you. I'm Vera Weatherly of the Weatherly Hotel.
Have you heard any interesting gossip?
Well, I really shouldn't tell you, but have you heard about Polly Cantelli? He's addicted to chems. His poor wife Cindy is at her wit's end.
So are there any fun rumors flying around Rivet City?
You haven't heard? Angela has the hots for Diego. But since he's a priest, he's been putting her off. One of these days, she's just going to jump his bones.
Any other rumors you have heard?
They say Mr. Lopez is losing it. He stands on the top of the bridge tower for hours at a time, just staring out over the city.
Yeah, your nephew Brian lost his folks and needs a place to live.
Poor dear.
Oh.
I know what it's like to be alone. I'd love to take him in. Don't worry. I have the means to keep him fed and healthy, but most importantly, safe.
I think Brian will love his new home. I'll send him along shortly.
Oh, that's wonderful. If you ever wander back into Rivet City, why don't you check up on us? You're always welcome.
Okay, and that is the lady for that.
The Mirelurks have been quiet lately.
I heard that the city council is debating putting railings on the flight deck.
Well, I hope they do something. Remember that child that fell off the deck last year? Yeah. God bless you.
Yes?
Any trouble in this area?
Quite an impressive collection, isn't it? Well, don't be shy. Have a look around. Abraham Washington's the name. Curator of this little slice of American history.
Yes, it's an interesting collection indeed.
Ah, a fellow scholar, I see. Each of the documents in this room tells a small but important story about the history of the United States of America. Unfortunately, the greatest prize of all is missing from the collection.
It has to be the Declaration of Independence.
Why, yes. Your knowledge of American history is quite impressive. What an amazing crown jewel in my collection that would be. The original document created by the people for the people.
Let me take a leap of faith here. You want me to find it for you?
Indeed I do. Without the Declaration, the rest of these relics are almost meaningless. I must have it. Acquire the document for me, and you'll be awarded most handsomely. What do you think?
I would love to be a part of history. Sure.
Excellent! You won't regret it, I promise you. Imagine, you are taking part in another chapter of American history. I envy you. You can find the Declaration of Independence in the ruins of the National Archives.
Can you show me how to get to the National Archives on my map?
In the D.C. ruins, you'll find the National Archives. or what's left of it anyway. The building should contain the document in a protective glass case. Be careful. The place is swarming with super mutants. Here, let me pinpoint its location for you.
Do you know the history of Rivet City?
It's funny now that you ask. I can tell you all about the capital, but I really haven't got any idea about Rivet City itself. I can't see how important it is compared to the capital's history, but maybe Bannon might know something. He's in the governing council, after all.
Okay. Gotta go.
I'm looking for troublemakers. Have you seen any?
If you could move out of the way, please excuse me.
What do you do around here?
I help Dr. Lee when she needs equipment moved. I am no scientist. I just help with the heavy things.
Okay.
What else do you want from me?
Hello.
I'm looking for troublemakers. Have you seen any?
Want to do some buff out? Maybe a little psycho?
What do you have? Whiskey and water. Go light on the water. Have you seen my good-for-nothing son, James?
Don't even think of breaking into that.
What the hell do you want?
Paul really addicted to chems?
Oh, yeah. He's a mess. I'm glad I'm not in Cindy's shoes.
Have any stories about this place's history?
History? What, not enough shit around here already? You need to dig up more? Don't know if it ever had an official start. It's just been here forever. Stuck in the river and full of assholes.
Really? Because Bannon said he organized the entire place himself.
Huh. Why, that lying son of a bitch. He wasn't even born when I got here. Want to know this tub's history? Only person who really knows it is Pinkerton. And most think he's dead or gone. He's holed up in the other half of the ship, and he don't like visitors. He'll set you straight.
Need the bell?
Any trouble in this area?
The sooner you find my...
I know he's dead. See, here's an internal component.
What? Let me see that. This is a neuroservo, unique to the A321. And you say you got this from his corpse? I suppose there's no other way you could have obtained it. Well, damn it! I was afraid this would happen. Out here in this wasteland. Well, here's 50 caps for your troubles. Try to buy yourself an education out here in this hell. Good day. No sign of him, Armitage. Let's look elsewhere.
I'm gonna go and tell her. Need to be up here.
Good to see you.
Oh, this is the guy I need.
You stole that! Don't even think about it. Thief! What do you think you're doing?
Eh?
You did a good thing delivering that component to Zimmer, telling him the android was dead. For that, I'm going to entrust you with some information. The android's transformation was done by a man named Pinkerton, here in Rivet City. He's hidden down in the broken fore section of the ship. You'll need to swim to reach him, but if you're inclined, Pinkerton can perform a facial reconstruction on you as well. It won't disguise your identity, but you'll be able to experience life in a new skin and truly understand that we're all human on the inside.
One of the new
Fixes something that will help you sleep. Cindy's got all kinds.
So,
She was
dude,
drinking
did that
river
key
water.
ever get you anything?
I'll try
The
that.
ship's water isn't much better. If we don't get fresh water soon, we'll all...
Dude, you got your key. What do you want now? Later.
We'll end up like her.
Everything looks
Let's
okay.
see. We talk to him.
Whoa. What's the rush, dude?
You know, Mr. Crowley.
Whoa. That's a blast from the past. My dad knew a dude named Crowley. I never met him, though. I think Dad said he died when they were checking out some old fort.
Probably wants your father's security key.
Whoa. Is it, like, worth caps? 'Cause I got needs, man.
Speech, give me the key. I would hate to see you bleed to death.
Sure, dude. I don't know what it's for anyway. Don't need to get all thug-like.
Yep, do it that way. We get the XP.
You did a good thing delivering.
Yeah. Okay, so Pinkerton. What else do we have to do here now? Yeah, that. But we listen to all those.
Zimmer, by the time you get this message, I'll already be gone. I'm escaping the Commonwealth. I want to live my own life on my own terms, as my own man. I know what you're
So
thinking.
did you finish
that I'm
Watch Dogs 2,
malfunctioning.
Gloria?
I used to think that's what caused the runaways too. But I know better now. Self-determination is not a malfunction. I'm not just willing to put up with all the bullshit anymore. You humans are going to have a full-fledged rebellion on your hands if you don't start treating us synths as persons. I know you'll be marshaling the Retention Bureau to come after me, but I know all the tricks of the trade. You won't be finding me, I assure you. By the time you get this, I will be someone else. It's the price I pay for my liberation. My final act of rebellion against a system I no longer believe in. Goodbye, Zimmer, and good riddance.
Not as good as the first one, right? Just a second, I need to clean my glass. Unreal gold. Okay.
Well, here we are again. Project Purity and me. It's been close to 20 years since my last entry. Since I left all of this behind to make a life for my daughter. We've spent that time in Vault 101, tucked away from the rest of the world. It wasn't perfect, but it was safe, and that's all I could have hoped for. Now my daughter is a grown woman. Beautiful, intelligent, confident. And as hard as it was to admit it, she doesn't need her daddy anymore.
I'm looking for troublemaker. See anything?
This is day 2 of my attempt to resurrect this project. I've got one of the portable fusion generators up and running, but it's just enough to power the emergency lighting and a couple of other systems. That will serve for now, but I need help powering up the mainframe. Time to visit Madison at Rivet City.
What's the big idea?
Hacky hacky. Survival of weapon idea. Had an idea for survival for a survival weapon. There are all these railroad spikes laying around the wasteland. I ought to be able to build some sort of slingshot to fire them like bullets. Have some really big rubber bands, but that didn't work. I wonder if we could use steam as a power source. Bannon. Dr. Lee, we both know that Bannon does not have the best interest of Rivet City at heart. He's only interested in making a profit. He would sell his own children if he had any for an extra bottle cap. He needs to be removed. I would be glad to step forward as his replacement. Anyway, I do not wish to get pulled into a petty political bickering. Bannon has not done anything wrong. If the time ever comes when he does something truly harmful to Rivet City, other council members will look into it. Until then, I have a lab to run.
Welcome to Potomac Attire. I think I've seen you in here before. When you're ready to buy, just let me know.
City Council.
Dr. Lee, Chief Harkness.
Yeah.
I can be Dr. Leach, I can...
So... Couldn't find anything else though.
I spoke with Dr. Lee, Madison, at Rivet City.
There it is. Yeah, I was missing something. You've turned us down twice now, Holmes. This is my last appeal here. We used to be friends. We used to be business together. But I wanted to sell our product in Rivet City and assure the city we could use slaves to help with the rebuilding. But I suppose the slaves to sell it at a good price.
Have you found anything you like?
Found a letter in Sigurd's room. It's from some slavers.
Really? I mean, I'm shocked. Shocked, I tell you. Tell Danvers about that letter right away. That will squash any hope he has of replacing me on the council. Don't tell her I asked you to find it, though. That would backfire in a nasty way.
Denver?
Come back.
I'm looking for troublemakers. Have you seen any? Evening.
Dad, my shift's over. I'm going to do some shopping.
I do the repairs around here, so if you see something that needs fixing, let me know.
Have you seen my good-for-nothing son, James?
It's locked for a reason. Don't get any ideas.
Yes, with more stuff.
Are you ready to order?
Is there a problem?
Mr. Diego?
Not yet. Give me a few minutes, Mr. Buckingham. One of the new immigrants died of radiation poisoning last week.
Welcome to the Weatherly. Mr. Buckingham at your service.
Who's the owner, Russ? Who's the owner, Russ Bucket? What is this place?
This is the Weatherly Hotel. It's the finest establishment in Rivet City.
How much for a room?
Oh, the mere 120 caps.
They're cheap.
Yeah, I heard she was drinking the river. The ship's water isn't much better. We don't get fresh water.
This is a medical clinic. Please don't disturb any of my patients. You're in the Rivet City Clinic. I'm Dr. Preston.
You're a doctor, right? I could use some help.
You're right. You do need a doctor. Lucky I happened along. But first, let's discuss my fee. 100 caps ought to cover it.
This place looks pretty easy to rob. You have any problems with thieves?
Don't get any cute ideas. Security is just a shout away. Now, if you've got any medical issues, let's hear them.
Did I ask you about Rivet City's history?
Oh, I'd like to help. I really would. but I don't know the first thing about this place's history. Don't let my age fool you. I may have been around for a while, but I didn't spend all that time here.
Okay, need medical supplies then?
Sure thing. Here's what I have.
There's a lot of stim packs if you need it. Okay.
Tamper with that, and we're going to have a problem.
Any trouble in this area?
Good to see you.
Don't touch the vegetables. They're fragile.
Well, where the heck is Denver then?
What else do you want from me?
I'm looking for troublemakers. Have you seen it?
Any trouble?
I think you'd be in here then.
Saint Monica bless you.
What are you looking at?
I'm looking for trouble.
Here's the log. 2 more reports of mirror-like noise from the bow section. And then thing that can be done about it as soon as we clean out one nest, another moves in, especially when we stop bitching about it. The railing on the flight deck is still broken, problem has been referred to the council. Brock got in a fight with that sister character. If it happens again, I'm going to have to kick sister off the ship. What James Hager is stealing food at Gary's galley. Haven't paid the fine, although she blistered my ears the whole time. Okay, so we need to get sister into a fight with Brock, or just get sister into a fight. He will get kicked off the ship.
Sir, yes, sir. Private Jones reporting.
What's your story? Eddie Private, I'm here to inspect the armory.
Sir, you are not authorized to enter the armory. Sir! Please don't make me shoot you, sir!
I can't pick it up. There was gonna be something to pick up. Is he going to flight there?
Yes? Please excuse me. There is much work to be done. I think I have to get over there. Get to Pinkerton.
Why don't you look where you're going?
Hey there. Hey there.
I'm looking for troublemakers. Have you seen any? I'm looking
It was
for
so
troublemakers.
noisy last night. I could hardly sleep.
Maybe a quick fix has something to help.
Everything looks okay here.
City's got all kinds of good cameras.
I'll try that. Yes?
Nope. God damn it. Wrong way. Down.
Yes?
I'm looking for troublemakers. If you, I'm on. Depends. Harkness. Chief Harkness is in charge of security. He patrols the whole city. Security bunks down in the tower. Dr. Lee kind of runs everything else. She's in the aft. That's the northeast end of the city.
Hur ser run by centraltjänsten?
Chief Harkness meets with Dr. Lee and Bannon to discuss security matters. It's a waste of a good Monday morning, if you ask me. They should just let Chief Harkness call the shots.
Third level of the tower.
Yeah, see it.
He's in the tower.
I'm looking for troublemakers. Have you seen any? Any trouble in this area?
This area is off limits to civilians.
Any trouble in this area?
I'm looking for troublemakers. Have you seen any?
Ride?
Another glorious day in this man's army.
Is there a problem?
Oh. Damn it. What time is it? Middle of the night.
I'm looking for troublemakers. Have you seen any?
Hello.
Let's see.
Keep moving.
Maybe you don't know who you're talking to. I'm Commander Danvers, Assistant Chief of Security.
You report to Chief Harkness?
I'm his second in command. I run the night shift and he runs the day shift. Is this conversation going somewhere? Because I've got things to do.
Found this letter in Seagrave's room. Thought you should see it.
This is bad. Seagrave Holmes was angling for a seat on the council. He can forget about that now. Once the market vendors get wind of his past, they'll never trust him. Too bad.
James Hargrave kid, he acts like such a brat.
He's trouble. That's what he is. I don't trust him, and neither should you. His mother's a drunk. Spends all her time in the Muddy Rudder.
Okay. If she knows anything about the Rivet City history? Probably
Sorry,
nothing.
but I don't really know much about it. More worried about what's going wrong with the here and now, see?
Let's report
Oh,
some.
if someone took your stuff, go get it back. If they shoot at you, shoot back. Otherwise, I've got to see it for myself before I'm gonna do anything.
Okay.
Duty calls.
You'd better get out of here.
Okay, I'm getting out. So let's see, we have a few things to do here now then. I need to find a... I need to go back there and get more. We have it.
So here I am, back where it all began.
It's like I don't have the journal that we need.
God, we wanted to change the world.
Have
We really thought the waters of life could be a reality. And that's why this is a momentous occasion. Because even after 19 years, I still believe it. Project Purity can and will be operational. This is just the beginning.
That batch of tests was inconclusive, but Madison and I are convinced it's a problem with the secondary filtration system. We're going to recalibrate the equipment and try again tomorrow, so that... James, please. I'm trying to work. Now's not the time. So that's the next step. Assuming we get the results we need, we'll move on to... James! Stop! I need to finish these notes. We'll move on to diagnosing the issues with the radiation dampeners. That should... Ow! James! Now? We really shouldn't.
I am at a loss. My beloved wife is gone. In her place is my daughter, small and helpless. As much as this place means to me, as much as it
Any
meant to
trouble in this
Catherine,
area?
this is no place for an infant, especially an infant without her mother. It's time to go. The project was in trouble before, and externally. Progress has come to a halt.
Any trouble in this area?
Both because our recalculations have gotten us nowhere, and because the mutant attacks occur several times a day. I regret that it has come to this. I know that if I leave, our work may come to an end. Madison has never been on
I'm
the
looking
best
for
of terms with the
troublemakers. Have you
Brotherhood.
seen any?
Aside from Scribe Rothschild, he'll tolerate none of them.
That's secure for a reason.
If she's the one dealing with them, who knows what will happen?
Nice day, huh?
It breaks my heart to go. But I must put the needs of my child before my own.
Any trouble?
to Pinkerton.
Please, do you have any... Oh, please...
What is our skill for? Not picked. Should be. If you put on. What? Damn, this is really more marginal. Okay, let me get some coffee. Then we move on here and see if we can find Pinkerton. Right back. Well, what? He was close. Hailed! Oh, come on. That's a dream. Yeah, I do remember when the kings were hard. They pretty much one-shot me. Heck? The bomb was in here? I do enjoy traps in this one.
How the hell did you get in here? I suppose you can't be all that bad if you made it this far without dying. This is the part where you tell me what the hell you are doing bothering an old man who obviously wants to be left alone. Get on with it already.
What are you doing here in this wrecked part of the ship?
I live here. It's where I do my work, and it's far away from Dr. Lee and all those other monkeys dressed up like scientists. You made it past my defenses, which proves you aren't a dummy. And you haven't killed me, so I suppose you aren't here to do that. I suppose you can hang around if you want. Just don't touch anything.
You think you could perform a facial reconstruction on me?
And how? I am the only one in all of the wasteland with the skill and the guts to perform facial reconstruction, you know. Look, you're different from all those other jerk-offs, so I'll make you a deal. You want a little nip-tuck here and there? I'll do it for you. I'll get to hone my skill, and you'll get the best surgeon around. The likelihood of death by infection at my hands is only 35%, let's say. So, what do you want to look like?
Done what?
Thanks.
Tell me about this city's history.
What? I have better things to do than yak about those backstabbers up topside. Now get going.
I hear you're the only one who knows the truth about Rivet City's founding.
Ha! Sounds like you've been poking around, all right. I'm surprised any of those reprobates even remember me. Maybe they still laugh about how they edged me out of the council back then. But you can set the record straight.
Setting record straight is exactly my goal.
For that, you have to go all the way back to when remnants of the Naval Research Institute cleared the Mirelurks off this wreck. About 40 years ago. We were looking for new lab space, and this bucket of bolts just happened to have a well-preserved science bay on it. Everything else just grew up around that lab once we got it up and running. The science team was led by one H. Pinkerton.
So you used to be in charge. How did you end up here?
That lasted until about 18 years ago, when those ambitious backbiters like Lee and her little team showed up. She came in with her big purity project pipe dream, and my whole staff started working with her, those traitors. She even took my seat on the council. By then, I was glad to leave it behind. But hell, if I'm leaving the city I made great.
What do you know about Project Purity?
Who cares? It's some hydroponics pipe dream that Lee's been working on forever. Waste of time and effort, I say. Apparently, though, my teams cared more about it than they did about little things like defense systems or making this ship float again. Treacherous bastards, all of them.
Do you have any hard evidence of all this?
Of course I do. A good scientist always keeps track of their data. Here, they probably don't even remember, but I kept the records of that first council meeting. Take them, if it'll put them in their place.
Yep, you gotta go.
Don't let your guard down.
I am at a loss. My beloved wife is gone. In her place is my daughter, small and helpless. As much as this place means to me, as much as it meant to Catherine, this is no place for an infant, especially an infant without her mother.
Rivet Station signs up also display significant stability in its location, reliable profitability for supply traders. Burgeoning civilian settlement has sprung up in the available space on our ship. Better protect and organize this growing community with a clear a Freeman Council will act as a governing body to represent the interests of the residents of the newly dubbed Rivet City.
Morning.
Good morning to you.
What's the big idea?
Okay. Time to teleport places, huh?
Prepare to be astounded, bedazzled, and otherwise stupefied. I'm Three Dog, your master of ceremonies. What rhymes with shoes and often gives you the
Well,
blues?
look who's back.
That's right. It's
Do you have those keys yet?
cashews. Okay.
That was 10 pennies dead, but not from a shot to the head.
Good riddance. The wasteland is better off without him.
Feeling down, low on
He's first key. I'm afraid he's still alive.
So long as I get that key, I don't care. Here's your caps.
He's took his key. I got it without killing him.
Who cares? I've got his key. That's all I really want.
He's Dave's keys, but he's not dead.
All I care about is the key, which I'll take now.
Sheriff, one Lucas Sims, commissioned the one, the only lone wanderer from Vault 101 to disarm the nasty nuke. And the
Finally, I have the keys. Your job is done, and you've been paid, so move along. I have a trip to plan.
Toaster's been on the fritz.
Dun, dun.
Time once again for an important GNR public service announcement. Just a friendly reminder to all you would-be bigots out there, ghouls are people too. You see, children, ghouls are simply humans who've been exposed to an ungodly amount of radiation and haven't had the good fortune to die. Sure, they may look like hideous zombies from an old monster flick, but their hearts, their souls, their tears are all very much human. So please, if you meet one of the Capital Wasteland's many ghouls, leave your prejudice at the door and your pistol in its holster. Ah yes, one important caveat, kiddies. Those feral ghouls that prefer the dark, dank underground, they are basically mindless zombies, so kill as many as you damn well please. Now, some music.
Where is that one? Did I get it? Don't really need any of these, I think. That won't be pretty nice. Kill those stupid rad scorpions. Yeah, no, that one is pretty much always one to take. Go with more strength, why not? Maybe there's something more to do. Next quest to hand in.
I wish there were more people like... Certainly.
No! Shit, I forgot to do one thing there. I have to go back to Underworld.
Any luck finding out how Rivet City got started?
Got the searching, I got the real history of Rivet City.
Aha! Not just as easy as asking around, was it? Good information takes real work to uncover after all. So, tell me all about it.
Again, it's a research station, which is why it's still a scientific haven.
With the protected location and resources that came from those scientific advances, I can definitely see how it grew so quickly. A bit of smarts leads to a big reward, huh? Speaking of which, in thanks, have a few of these for the next time you've got to be quick on your wits. Oh, and I'll let the Rivet City traders know they'll be favorably mentioned in the book. You'll get a discount buying gear from them in the future.
Nice. Yeah, ready to continue research on the last chapter.
I've got to do a section on working with old computer electronics, so there's some research to be done in the old Robco production facility. Also, there used to be a big library out there. Imagine a whole building full of books. I'll need you to gather information there for me. And that'll be it for the last chapter. So, what'll it be?
Books. Could check the library, maybe someone's already written it. Yep.
Oh, that sure saved me a lot of time. But I bet their book wouldn't have anything about exploding mole rats, would it? Books are where the old world kept its knowledge, and libraries are where it kept the books. And there's supposed to be one in Arlington. See if it's still there, and if you can download records from its computer. Information dumps like those would be invaluable for rebuilding humanity.
Okay, check out my local library.
Great. The library should be in Old Arlington, not far from downtown. See if you can download the archives from its computer. If you can't get those, then even the card catalog would be useful. Any little piece of information could help the book, and thus humanity. Sure thing.
mind using the tail and combat armor.
Good hunting! Unless... Sure.
Did I have that one? Okay.
Good hunting!
Put away some of this ammo. Heat up and stuff. Oops. Be around or?
Hope you met Ronald. He's such a sweetie. Oh, I hope you're here with some quantum.
I have the last of the quantum.
You've done it! My machine is finally full. Well, like I promised, here's the schematic for the Nuka grenade. You've sure earned it. If you find any more bottles, be sure and bring them by. I'll be glad to keep paying for them.
Okay, done. Quest, let's see. Good old Great Ditch. That's an interesting place with all the ants.
Holy moly! You actually came back like you said you would. Did you find me a home? I hope you found me a place to live.
I sure did, Brian. Vera said she would take you in.
You really found her? Oh, thank you so much. I can't believe everything you've done for me. Most people would have kept on walking when I ran up to them screaming like I did. I'll get my stuff together and move on out there right away. Come visit me sometime.
Yep. That one done. Let's see. Well, we had to find more different ones. The ones I didn't have the information needed. Looks like we need to talk to her even more about it, huh? Let's see, we need to find some more of these tapes somewhere. I assume they are probably down in the research area, not up here. Information. Was anything? Was. Let's see if any of these have anything. About a nuclear called quantum tin can turpentine approximately.
Even on Vault 101, my work on Project Purity never really stopped. Soon after we arrived, my nightly routine included sneaking into the restricted areas, searching for, I don't know, whatever I could find. It was a Voltaic facility after all. The place was built with the most advanced technology this country had ever developed. Those excursions never turned up anything particularly useful. So, one night, after half a bottle of scotch, I broke into the overseer's office. It was easy enough to hack his console, gain access to the restricted files. Most of it was garbage. Propaganda, spy reports, just plain rambling bullshit, really. But there was one thing, one name that stood out amongst all the others. Dr. Stanislaus Braun. I knew of Braun's work, of course. He was a celebrity in his day, Voltaic's sorcerous scientist, leaving his peers in awe of his technological wizardry. But it was in Vault 101 that night in the Overseer's office I first learned of Braun's involvement in Vault-Tech's Societal Preservation Program and his work on something called GECK, the Garden of Eden Creation Kit.
Oh, a GECK, huh?
To be honest, the GECK sounded like pure fantasy, even for someone of Braun's capabilities. It was nothing short of a miracle. A terraforming module capable of producing life from complete lifelessness. But not only was this thing a reality, it was actually distributed to several vaults to be used after an atomic war. Vault 101 was, sadly, not on that list. I did some digging and discovered Braun's name on the reservation list for a Vault 112. I'm no slouch, but this man, he could have easily succeeded where I failed. Does his collected knowledge remain within the halls of Vault 112? Journals, holotapes, computer records, maybe even experiments. If I could gain access to just a fraction of Braun's genius, Project Purity would become a reality. I'm off to Vault 112 to search for anything of Braun's that might help me get this purifier up and running. All I know is that it's west of some place called Evergreen Mills, and it's well hidden in some sort of garage. But I'll find it. I have to. It's so close. That's the story of Project Purity, isn't it? An eternity of almost theirs. Let's see if Braun has the missing puzzle piece.
And we should know all the different vaults since we were in Vault-Tech, so... Okay. That was the ones we were missing. Okay, so this one wasn't on our for some reason. Okay, so teleport to... First travel to... Go to Shade. Let's walk there. Let's see, what else do we have? Are we in town? Normal save. Wait for a while. Oh, that one is in. Man, a hassle to get there. Means I have to fast travel to Falls Church Metro and see if there's a path over, I guess. There's no... I need to get to the other side. I wonder if one can swim over. Almost looks like it with this. Okay, wait for that one then. Let's go here. Then he wants... Was it this guy who wanted a scrap metal?
Tasted better. What do you need?
Who was the wanted the 5 scrap metals for something?
Oh, hello. Yeah. Don't even think of breaking into that.
I've got just the thing for you.
Oh, come on, I forgot who it is that wanted 5 scrap metals for something.
Hey, Winthrop. How's it going? Oh, sorry. No time to talk. circulation system is busted.
Another glorious day in this man's army.
Hey, you. What's new?
Find out.
Hey, you. What's new?
Good to see you.
Welcome, visitor.
There's two things. I know about negative.
Sweaty death down. I swear every day it's something new.
Poor Winthrop. The guy really
Hey,
needs
Gwen.
some help.
Hey there. Long time no see. I've got some good stories to tell you. You smell that?
Walter is one, but it was somebody else.
Winthrop.
Nope, not now.
Oh, is it?
Good to see you. Good to see you. Are you following me? Every day there's something new. The generators go down. The water has funk in it. The air filters die. Jesus, this place is falling apart. Hey, Gwen. I'd like me to sit down and tell you some of the things that I've seen.
Another glorious day in this man's army.
Okay, that's the one. What the heck? Winthrop.
Scanning.
Yeah. What the heck? I knew there was somebody here. Not that one. Not the shop.
Do you want to hear a story about the waste? Don't even think of breaking into that. It's a miracle that some of this shit works in
Something
the first
upstairs then. But I remember there was something in Underworld. That's system bar.
Assessing threat.
You know, Winthrop does his best. He's a great mechanic, but he just had to keep up. Hey. You got something to say?
Jesus, this place is falling apart. Terrible air down here.
Just try not to kill anyone while you're here.
Scanning.
Oh, hello there. Scrap
There
metals.
you are.
Well, look who's back. What can I do you for, smooth skin?
Here's some scrap metal for you.
Really? Great.
Got 25.
I didn't expect you to bring back so much. That'll set me up for quite some time. So what'd you have in mind for payment?
Nice impacts.
25 bits of scrap metal for me, 5 stim packs for you. It's been a pleasure doing business. Let me...
Nope. I'm gonna come back to you for that again. Get rid of them. Okay. Let's see. So it's kind of close to here. Weapon. You want up there again? Ah, what a miss. Tiddly silly. Shit. Gonna blow up. The heck? Where'd he come from? Do 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 do. I wonder if it's gonna be super mutants all over the place in here or what.